Hey everybody, this is Rich Clark. I am the guitar player from the band Among These Ashes from Detroit, Michigan. So our new album is titled Embers of Elysium. It came out on December 6th, so it's out worldwide. If you're still into CDs or physical formats, you can get it from us through our Bandcamp site, or you can go to Alone Records and order it there. You can also get it through all streaming platforms as well as our Bandcamp site.
What kind of signal chain did you run the guitars into for recording?
The amp we used on this album was my Mesa dual rectifier 3-channel. In front of the amp, I had my Peppers Dirty Tree pedal, and that was in DT mode, and that's the rhythm tone. And then as far as the lead tone goes, it was pretty much the same thing, and I'm a really simple guy in terms of my effects, and what I use is literally just the same tone with carbon copy delay pedal, analog. And the cab we use is my custom-made Stone Age custom cabinets. It's a 412 and it's got Mesa voiced vintage 30s in it, and then just a single SM57 on that speaker. And if you're interested in checking out those cabs, they're made by a guy named John Wheeler out in Bay City, Michigan. The two guitars that we used on Embers of Elysium were my two Les Pauls. The left-hand guitar was my Les Paul BFG, which stands for Barely Finished Guitar. It's just a completely stripped down raw guitar. And then the right-hand guitar was my Les Paul Dark Knight. That one was also used for pretty much all of the leads. And then we had two songs that are in C standard, The Undertow and Through Ethereal Voids. And that was my Les Paul Blood Moon, which comes from the same series as the Dark Knight. And then other than that, I just used my Taylor 12 fret acoustic guitar to track all of the acoustic guitar tracks.
Is there anything that separates this album from the first album?
It separates from the first album. I would say the differences is more deliberate in how I approach the songwriting, and specifically the songwriting structure. So pretty much in every single song is this deliberate concept of song within a song. So you'll have a little bit of a formulaic approach, which I wanted to do to have some sort of accessibility to the songs. So, intro, verse, chorus, and then we'll have a pretty well fleshed out bridge in almost every song that's different, either tempo or riff wise, or maybe both, that just gives a new flavor within the song and keeps people interested. So that was a definite deliberate change from the first one. And then just a little bit better, I think, in terms of how we recorded it. We all learned more, and the actual quality of the production.
What is your favorite song off of the new album?
For me, picking a favorite track is like picking a favorite kid. Right now, just to answer this question though, my favorite track is Three Ethereal Voids, which is the long instrumental track on the album. It's more than 7 minutes long. It was intended to be a musical journey through space, and it's part of the concept of the last 4 songs in the album, which is just like this sci-fi horror thing. And there's actually movements in the song with titles of each movement and timestamps, and we'll publish all that on social media eventually. It's defined in the liner notes on the album, but I really like that one because it's dynamic in the sense of how the song flows, and it really is just a musical journey.
What is the concept of this album, or like the overall message behind it?
Most of the songs have a theme of unity, and we tackle like lyrical subjects that I don't think other bands tackle, like cancel culture, just like the societal elite dividing the rest of people. That said, it's not all the songs are like that though. So the first 8 songs basically stand alone. They have their own spirit. They have their own theme. There's a couple that have that sort of theme. And then there's stuff about self-destruction in there. There's stuff about not giving up. And then the last 4 songs are part of a conceptual sci-fi horror story that I came up with called Chronicles of the Obsidian Rain.
Do you want to give us like a quick overview of like what that story is?
Sure.
Like just like a couple sentences.
Yeah, so the last 4 songs, part of a concept called Chronicles of the Obsidian Rain. At the time, I was into the Alien movie franchise and thought of this idea of like, well, what if aliens came down and mated with human beings and created this hybrid race that took over and positioned themselves in the government, and eventually humans became aware and got rid of the aliens, but then they were just as corrupt. So that's the whole idea with the last 4 songs in a quick nutshell.